Welcome everyone.
In today's class, we will learn about what is data, what are the different types of data, how to modify the raw data, how to summarize the raw data using different methods. The numerical facts that we gathered for any statistical investigation are called data. After identifying problem and the population from where we are about to collect the information or sample, the next important thing is to decide upon which are the information that is required for that particular problem. Data is in fact the plural form of datum. Single information of a phenomenon on any subject is called datum, and so data is called the collection of data. For example, if we are interested about the prevalence of obesity among the students of Brack University, we may want to collect information about height, weight, pattern of physical activities, etc. of the Brack University students. Then a single value, for example, maybe the height of a student, is called data, and the set of all values of height will be considered as data. Based on the sources of data, data can be of two types. One is primary data and the other one is secondary data. If for any investigation we collect information from the field for the first time by the investigator, that data is known as primary data. And if a statistical analysis is based on a data set which have been collected previously, that is known as secondary data. For example, if we want to conduct a study about the workplace safety of garments organization of any garments, we may want to go to different garments, collect relevant information, and we can produce a research paper based on that data. Such data is known as primary data. But instead of going to the sample unit or population unit, if we collect the required information from some other source, maybe we can collect information from BGMEA report or Ministry of Industries report, etc., and we prepare a report based on those previously available data set, that will be considered as secondary data. Now, when we collect the information, the data comes to us in an unorganized way. And in fact, those collected information with the help of those information, we are unable to represent summary information and we cannot do any further statistical analysis. Such unorganized data is known as raw data. In order to make the raw data usable for further statistical analysis, we most frequently used some methods such as classification, tabulation, graphical representation. These are some methods with the help of which we prepare, summarize, or condense the raw data and make it prepared for further statistical application. First of all, classification. Classification is the process of arranging data values into several groups or classes according to their characteristics or the interest of the researcher. That is, with the help of classification, researcher classifies the information into different groups or classes. Such process often necessary to serve the following purposes, such as with the help of classification, we eliminate unnecessary details. We determine clearly point of similarities or dissimilarities. It gives us a mental picture since with the help of classification, we allocate all the observation into different groups. That gives us an idea about the concentration of different individual elements. That ultimately helps us to make comparison. And it also helps us to do further statistical calculation. Now, the principles that we have to focus on while determining the number of classes that comes usually based on the following conjoint consideration. Based on the number and type of variables we are dealing with. Classification is mostly based on how many observations we are dealing with, what is the lowest value or the highest value of the variable, what are the natural diversity of the particular data set. We also need to focus on a regular sequence of frequencies and also avoidance of extremely large or small number of classes. For example, if we collect information about the district of the students, we might need to do 64 different classes, which will be very much complicated when it comes to the question of presenting the data with the help of any graph. In that case, instead of doing name of the district, we can divide the districts into different or 8 divisions, and that will make our presentation easy, as in that case there will be only 8 divisions. Tabulation is another part, one, we make the classification. Then the next important thing is to present the data or condense the data with the help of tabulation. Tabulation is the logical listing of collected data in vertical columns and horizontal rows of numbers. And these will also include sufficiently explanatory and qualifying words, terms, etc. The principles of constructing a table. While constructing a table, we need to be focused on some issues, such as a table should be self-explanatory. The title of the table should be clear, concise, and to the point. A table should be as simple as possible. Sometimes we divide a more clumsy table into two or more smallest table so that the data is not get very complicated to present. Units used in the variables should be clearly mentioned in the table, and also the sources of data should be clearly mentioned. Frequency distribution is a vital component that we usually do while after doing the tabulation. It is the summary presentation of the number of observation. It can be done either based either individual values, or it can be done in groups. Some of the definitions that you need to be aware of while doing a frequency distribution table are class limit, class interval, class frequencies, and class mean values. Here is an example, two other terms that we frequently use while doing the frequency distribution table is relative frequency and cumulative frequency. Relative frequency is the value that we derive by dividing frequency in each class by the total number of observation of that particular table. For example, in this particular table, this is the class limit. Here, no values less than 10 will be included or greater than 20 will be included. This is the mean value that we derive by the average of this lower value and upper value. Frequency, here the frequencies are given. This F will be the total number of frequencies. Relative frequency corresponding to this class will be obtained by 4 divided by total frequency. Cumulative frequency corresponding to any class is the total of all frequency up to and including this class, such as for cumulative frequency of this class will be 4 plus 8, 12. Also, cumulative relative frequencies can be obtained by summing up the accumulation of relative frequency. Do yourself this particular table. The result is given in the next slide. I think it will help you understand the different features of frequency distribution table. Thank you.